Hi, I'm Angie. I want to welcome you to National Indoor RV Centers, where we specialize in the sales, storage, service, and detailing of only high-end new and used coaches. So basically, we do it all. Hi, I'm Angie with National Indoor RV Centers, and today I'm so thrilled that you're joining me for the 2022 Newmar Dutch Star video. Now, the Dutch Star is Newmar's best-selling coach across the full lineup. It just kind of hits all the sweet spots, gives you everything you need at a really good price. Now, in the past, I've done the 4369, which is their best-selling floor plan in the Dutch Star brand. But today, we're going to do the 4081. So as we go through this coach, I'll kind of point out some of the differences. You know, there's a lot of people that want to stay with a shorter coach so you can get into more of the parks. So I'll just point those out as we go. So this is the 4081, as I said, 40 feet, 9 inches. It's 13 feet, 1 inch tall. This is the Mirage exterior. It's gorgeous. I'll talk more about the paint in just a minute. So let's go ahead and point out one of the features that we love about our Class A diesels is the big windshield. Like I say, always, your trip starts when you get behind that steering column and you have that big windshield. That's how you get to view the country. It's beautiful and you're going to love it. So beautiful big windshield. If you look at the very top of the coach, you're going to see our 3 marker lights. Just below that, you're going to have a camera. So we've opted this Dutch Star with the 360 camera. So as I go around the coach, I'm going to point out 4 cameras that are going to contribute to a 360 bird's eye view once you're inside the coach. It's really cool, a feature that you're going to love. Most of you have it in your cars nowadays. Well, it's even better in a coach. We've got our windshield wipers, the beautiful Dutch Star badging. Newmar is backlit this year, which is kind of cool here in the front. We have the chrome convex exterior mirrors. Those are heated, internally controlled, and you've got the marker light. Something else to note when I'm talking about the windshield is the way that Newmar mounts our windshield. So it's installed just like your car's windshield is installed. Very automotive-like installation, not just a big rubber gasket that holds that windshield in, but it's very nice, clean, and just looks super sleek. Just around the corner, here's the camera. Now this camera is going to be for your turn signals. So when you put on your right turn signal, you're going to be able to see down the full length of your coach. You're going to have the same camera on the left side of the coach. Great, again, for safety when you're driving. First marker light for the passenger side of the coach. As we come to the front entry door, there's lots of things to talk about. First of all, I love the nice grab bar that they have. So you can safely get in and out of the coach. You're going to have more grab bars as you go inside the coach, so I'll point out. We also have the keyless entry, so you can make your own unique code here. If you want to let the grandkids in, if you need to let a service technician in, you can give them that code and then reset it. And then we have the doorbell. That's always nice. And of course, you have your keys on that you can use, so you can deadbolt your coach or just lock it. And the thing that you're really going to love, again, a favorite of mine, is that you can do unlock and lock your entry door plus your cargo bays. So that's huge to have on the keypad. I mentioned we were doing the 4081. So the 40 is the length of the coach, 81 is the floor plan. That's a little trick for Newmar shoppers. When you're looking at coaches, they usually have that on the door until you get up into the luxury line, and then they don't typically put that there. We've optioned this coach with the power window awnings and the entry door awning, the Girard package. So one of the things that I'll talk about as I go through this coach, you can really customize your Newmar coach. So that means you get to decide what you put on it, what you don't put on it. And I'll be saying that a lot of things are optional, or we added the Girard awning package. So that's what I'm talking about. If you have any questions or is that confusing you because you're not sure what comes standard, what's optional, give us a call at National Indoor RV Centers. That's what our RV lifestyle specialists are trained for. They're trained to help you make that really easy. Sort of like building a custom home. You get to build your own custom coach, and that's the beauty of Newmar. Dutch Star has only the best Michelin tires. Now on the 4081, you're going to have 315 tires in the front. On the 4369, you're going to have the 365s in the front and then the 315s on the rear. Just to note some of those differences as I go along. We also have the aluminum wheels here with the Alcoa Bright rims, so you're not going to have to worry about polishing them. They're going to look nice as long as you keep them clean. Newmar is big on safety. A lot of the things that come standard in the Dutch Star are things that you're going to love, as far as you can opt in collision mitigation, electronic stability control, you've got the independent front suspension, and behind their tires there's actually a steel compartment that protects the fuel line. So I just love that they think of those things and always thinking of the safety of their customers. Now, before we move on, I want to talk to you about Retroband. All right, if you're not familiar with Retroband, then it is our run flat device that you can only get exclusively at National Indoor RV Centers. We've been waiting for about over a year for version 2 to come out, with shipping issues and things with COVID. It's taken a while to get here, but it will be here before you know it. You can go watch my video on Retroband. Once we get the version 2 in stock, and we have a bunch of them, I'll be doing a new video to give you a little update on that product, but feel free to look it up at retroband.com. The 4081 comes with 100-gallon diesel fuel tank, and that's dual fill. So you can do it on the passenger side or the driver's side. Now, if you go step up to the 4369, you're going to have a 150-gallon fuel tank. Just letting you know the differences there. Second marker light for the passenger side, and then our docking light. These are super important. They're an optional item. I think they should be standard, but again, that's one of those things we'll walk you through when you're doing your order form with National Indoor RV Centers. Let's check out the storage compartment. First compartment, we have the optional Dometic freezer. Now this is really nice. Look how far this comes out. It comes out this far because when your slides out, you want to still be able to open that easily. So you can open it all the way, and you can set the temperature of this. So if you want to have them both refrigerator, you can do both refrigerator. If you want both freezer, or if you want one refrigerator, one freezer, you get to decide. Now this year they've also given us this little shelf here, which is nice because otherwise that space is kind of useless. You'd have to put stuff on top of the refrigerator freezer. So you've got a little shelf. You also have a 12-volt outlet here and another 110 outlet. Second bay. Now there's options here as well. You can go for the non-powered pass-through tray. You can make it powered, or you can not have the tray at all. So it just depends on how you want to use your storage space. I like the pass-through tray. Very easy to bring all your goods outward. They're very easy to access, and you can do that on either side since it is the pass-through. Now this is 26 by 91 lengthwise, and then just as far as the opening goes, basically you have about 28 inches opening here, and then you've got a little bit of a diminished space here with the chassis rail. You're at 14 inches between the bottom of the storage tray and the top of that chassis rail. So you got to make sure you have like a plastic container that will pass through that area so that you can actually use that pass-through feature. Our third compartment is the large storage tray. Again, this is an optional item. I like it just because it makes it really easy to get to the very back of that. Otherwise, I think that space would be hard to use, so you can option that in or not. And we've got lots of other items in here to talk about as well. We have our central vac. Now this is great because you can actually take the hose that you saw, the little accessory set and the storage too. It was sitting on that pass-through tray. But you can connect that hose here, so if you want to pull up your car, vacuum out the car, if you want to vacuum out the basement, you can do that as well. And then of course you're going to have your central vac and your dustpan once you're inside the coach, which is super nice. Again, that's an optional feature. If you look down here, we've got the splitter. This is where our cameras are going to come together. And then we've got the slide room control, our awning controllers, 2 110 outlets, and our auto gen start control. Here in the center of the coach, you're going to see the second camera. That's going to contribute to that bird's eye view. And then we've got our passenger security light. And let's talk about the windows. So with the Dutch Star, you get the tinted dual pane frameless windows throughout. The third marker light for the passenger side of the coach. And our fourth storage compartment, now this is the pegboard compartment. Our freshwater tank is going to be behind this. So you don't get a lot of space, but Newmar does give you that space that you can use. A lot of people will store extra fluids there, oil, DEF. You can hang tools there. It's great to have that space, and I promise you, you will find stuff to fill it. I mentioned the Girard awnings. So huge feature to the Dutch Star, you get the integrated awnings. It gives it that bus-like appearance. You've got the fiberglass roof with the gutter system. Before I go into awnings, let me talk about that gutter system just a little bit. So you've got a gutter system around the whole roof line of the coach. As water comes down, runs down the roof, it doesn't run down the side of your coach, making those unsightly water stains. It actually has internal drains that the water runs down so that you'll see it puddling at the four corners of your coach, but you're not going to see it running down the sides of your coach. Huge feature. Now back to the awnings. So we've got a remote control here. We can control them from inside the coach or here at the remote. So we can just change the channels. If I want to take both awnings out at the same time, I'm going to go to 0 and then just hit the out. So check out all that shade. Again, we've got the Nova pitch, so we get that extra pitch. The awnings just don't come out straight. You get more shade with that Nova pitch. And then if it's in the evening, you can go ahead and turn on your lights on and off from here, which is really nice. Now, there is a shake sensor on your awnings, but word to the wise, I never leave my awnings out if I'm not right with my coach. I just came back from a rally in Granby, Colorado, where about 5 o'clock at night, a big gust of wind came up and people were rushing to get those awnings in before any damage occurred. So again, if you're gonna have them out, just make sure you're enjoying the shade underneath them. And if you leave your coach, put them back in. Now that we've got our awnings out, thank goodness for awnings, because it's only supposed to be 100 today in Texas. So thank goodness for shade, and we'll try to hurry. If you see me sweating, you'll know why. It's not because I'm nervous. Now we've got our optional exterior TV, 43-inch Samsung TV, 4K, Bose soundbar, and we've got the little dial here. So it's really easy. If you've got, you know, like Sirius radio in the dash, you want to, you know, get that music out here so you can enjoy it outside. You can easily just turn that to your dash radio and we'll pipe that music out here. You can turn it off. If you just want to watch the game, no sound, those commentators are driving you crazy, turn it off, or you can go to TV. Now, another feature that is really nice is that this TV comes out, swivels, and it also tilts. So there's just a little bar here that you release and tilts forward. And usually that's all you need. A lot of times it's that tilt that will help keep the glare of the sun off your TV so that you can enjoy it. And then just to the side of the TV, we've got 2 extra 110 outlets and 2 USB charging ports. Something unique to talk about here on our 4081 Dutch Star. What's different? You've got a tag axle on a 40-foot coach. Newmar is the only one that does that. So that is going to give you a much smoother, heavier, solid ride. We also have, now again, this is an optional item. You can option the Dutch Star on a Freightliner or Spartan chassis. With the Freightliner chassis, you get the V-Ride suspension, which is going to give you more stability and less sway. So if you want to learn more about the Freightliner chassis, get your soda or drink of choice and popcorn, because I've got a full-length video on that covers everything on the Freightliner chassis that you can go and check out. Right between our rear tires here, we've got the second docking light for the passenger side of the coach. And then you're going to get to your passive steer tag axle. So if you've watched my videos before, you know how I explain this. We've got the belly buttons, innies and outies. If you look at your front axle and your rear axle and they both match, you've got the outies, you've got a passive steer tag axle. That's the easy way to tell. And that's going to give you a much tighter turning radius when you go to turn and less tire scrub, possible tire scrub for your tag axle. Our next compartment is the DEF compartment. So we've got a 15-gallon DEF tank. DEF is your diesel exhaust fluid, and it doesn't like sun or heat. So just remember that, and it has about a shelf life of about a year. So you don't want to have bad DEF, thick, gummy. You don't want to let it crystallize in your tank, or it can throw some engine codes and cause you a lot of problems. Just above the DEF tank, you'll notice that there's a door. Now there's no handle, no way to get into it from the outside. You can only access it from the inside, but it's your emergency egress door. Again, another safety item that Newmar's given you. It's in your rear bath. Very easy to use. You can use multiple times. It's not like just a one-time use and then you've got to fix it. No, super easy to use. A great way to load and unload your coach, because I really don't want you to have to use it for an emergency, but it's a great option versus coming out a window if you do need to get out of your coach quickly. Our last compartment on the passenger side. So you're first going to see this is your fuse box for your relays and your fuses for the rear end of the coach. Anything you need there, tail light goes out, it's going to be inside that box here. We have our chassis batteries and our disconnect for our chassis batteries. Now, if we are not lucky enough to have you as one of our storage customers at any of our locations where we store at least 300 coaches indoors, always plugged into 50 amp service, then you're going to need to store your coach and make sure you use that battery disconnect so you don't have any parasitic draw to your batteries. You don't want to come back to a dead coach. Here's your diesel particulate filter, or DPF. It's the filter for your exhaust. So for diesel engines, it's going to collect that soot and ash and capture them, and then occasionally it will have to burn it off to regenerate the filter. Before we head around the corner, we have our last marker light for the passenger side of the coach. Now let's go check out the engine compartment. Check out the beautiful rear cap of the Dutch Star. We've got our marker lights at the top, camera at the very top, just behind that fin, and our camera here. Got a nice high brake light so that if you're towing something, that the car behind you will still be able to see that. So as I mentioned before, the Dutch Star sits on the Freightliner chassis with a 450 horsepower diesel engine, XCR chassis. We've got the Allison 3000 transmission, and then we have a 15,000 pound hitch. So that's great. Let's put that into perspective. 15,000 pounds, a Jeep just weighs over 4,000 pounds, so you can tow your Jeep, you can tow your side-by-side or your Sea-Doos easily, and you're not going to have a problem. Now, the Freightliner chassis and the Spartan chassis both come ready with the airline for your tow brake system, and then you've got the 7-way for the lights for your tow system. Speaking of towing systems, or toads, which a lot of people like to call their car that they tow is a toad. If you want to know more about those, more about how National Indoor RV Centers does towing packages, we do more than anyone in the country. So check out my towing video as well. All right, let's go ahead and check out the engine compartment. You just pull the lever here and then it pops up easily. First up, we have the coolant for our hydronic heating module, our Oasis system. We've got our transmission fluid check here and fill. We have our engine oil check here, and this dipstick comes way out, super long. And so you can check it here, fill it here. Deutsch plug for a technician at National Indoor RV Centers to plug in and get diagnostics from the engine. We have our power steering fluid fill, fuel filter water separator. Then just behind that, we've got the filter minder. So once that little level gets up to the red bar, it's time to change your engine filter. Just above that, we have our coolant. This is where we fill it. Now make sure it's not hot. The engine hasn't been running right before you fill that. So that's super hot, you'll get burnt. So just let it sit for a while before you check and fill that coolant. We have a light for the engine compartment, and that can come in really handy. You never know when you're going to be doing something in the dark back here. And we also have our engine block heater. So if it's Snowmageddon like it was this February in Texas, you're going to want to make sure you plug that in, warm that up before you start up the engine. This is the air filter. Now, if you come around the corner with me and look up, you're going to see this vented side. So this is where the ambient air is going to come in to the air filter, go through the air cleaner into the engine. As I come around the corner here, we have the first marker light for the driver's side and our side radiator. Now, side radiators are great. First of all, why? Well, you just saw it when we were at the back of the coach. You can get to everything super easy with the engine being in the rear of the coach and your side radiator. Now, a few little things about the radiator. When you've got it on the side, you're able to bring in ambient air to help cool that fan much better than air that's coming in from underneath the coach. With the cooler air, the fan doesn't have to work as hard, so you actually have more horsepower. Now, you want to make sure you maintain your radiator. All you have to do is simply get your garden hose, put your thumb over it, and then just gently spray off those coils to keep it working the most efficiently that it can. Up above here, we've got the dryer vent for the inside of the coach. You're probably wondering what that's for. You want to vent that out here. And then we have the DEF fill for the driver's side of the coach. This is really nice. You can fill up your coach and you don't have to, you know, pull around and then turn your coach around. It makes the truckers a lot happier. They like you a lot more when you've got those options for dual fill for fuel and DEF. Docking light for the driver's side of the coach, and just above that, we've got a space here that you can put your stinky slinky or sewer hose. I like that because then you don't have that, you know, sliding around in your wet bay. Keeps things, everything a lot nicer and tidier. Now I'm going to show you, I don't have them out right now, but I mentioned the Girard awning package, and then we did the power window awnings. So we've got power window awnings here, and for our living room, those come out really nice. They're controlled from the inside of the coach. The front window awnings are controlled at the head of the coach, and then this awning is here in the back in the bedroom. There's a button. I'll show you when we get inside. Here is the exhaust for your Oasis hydronic heater, which I'll show you in a second. And then we've got our wet bay compartment. So last year they added this stainless steel front, which I just think it makes it look so nice and high end, and I love it. Another thing I love about Newmar's wet bay is that everything is so nicely labeled. Again, if you need to winterize your coach, you've got your instructions right here. That's one of those things that you don't have to worry about if we're lucky enough to, again, to have you as a storage customer. Our customers can use our coaches year round because basically they don't have to winterize. They can come and pick up their coach, you know, right after Christmas, head to Florida. It just gives them a nice option. So starting from the top here, we've got our paper towel holder. I love that because this is messy work back here in the wet bay. You want to be able to, you know, wash off your hands, clean everything up. I like to clean up the wet bay too once I'm done, just to keep it nice and tidy. Makes it feel cleaner for me. If you want to see how I hook up everything when I get to a campground, you can go and watch my RVing 101 series. I go on a trip from start to finish. I've got a four-part series that you can watch, especially if you're new to RVing, if you're just wondering if this RVing lifestyle is for you, what's all involved. I think you'll really enjoy watching that series. We've got our external shower here. Now this is great because we've got a little shower head, we've got the hot and the cold, so I don't want to track dirt and grime into my coach. If I've been at the beach, if I've been out hiking, side by side, horseback riding, all those fun things we just did at our Granby AIM rally, you should check out an AIM rally, aimclub.org. So much fun, we have a great time. But you want to get all cleaned off before you head inside. You've got your hot and your cold point drains, your tank rents. Now your tank rents, that's one of those things, you know, when I first thought of a tank rinse, I thought it's sort of like a dishwasher. It's going to spray it off and clean it up nice. It's not that strong. It's just you've got a spray that goes into your black and gray tank that will help push things through, but it doesn't really clean the whole inside of the coach, but it is very important. Our RV SantaCon system, you can turn that on and off from here. Water pump, sewage rinse. You can hook that up there. We've got our gray water tank holding drain here and our sewage water holding tank drain here. Now if we want to do a gravity dump, we can hook in our stinky slinky right here. We've optioned this in with the RV SantaCon system with the macerator. So we've got that right here. You can thread that through this hole here. That way once you're camping, you can seal that off. I really like that option so that nothing's coming into your coach. You can also seal off your water reel here. So it's just gonna fit right through those rubber grommets here, and then you'll be able to easily shut your door. We don't want critters in this compartment. Another feature that's standard on the Dutch Star that you're gonna love is the auto water reel. Just goes right back. Water filter for the whole coach. And then this is your freshwater tank fill. So you can do a manual fill or the auto fill. Here at the midship, there is the driver's side security light. And then we have the camera for the 360 view for this side of the coach. Our second marker light for the driver's side of the coach. The 50 amp shore power cord. Now, again, favorite feature, you're all gonna love this. The auto reel on the 50 amp shore power cord. I'm telling you, it's a deal. It's a game changer. I can't get my words straight, but it really is. This is so nice. Again, you can thread that through here so you can easily shut the door and everything's sealed off nice and tight. Then when you're ready to bring it in, it's power. So just merely bring it in like that. So easy. I usually just put it to the side. Note that the compartments have LED lighting in them. We've got the SureGuard RV power protection transfer switch here. That's something that we option in, but it's a must. It should be a standard. We've got the cable input here, and this is our RV power monitor switch, and you can just kind of check for faults there. Very easy to do. Here is our Oasis Chinook hydronic heating system. So this is the Chinook system, which is the double loop. That's new for 2022. Double loop is nice. It refers to the furnace part of the Oasis system. So the Oasis system is your on-demand hot water, and then your furnace once you drop below like 35 degrees, you're gonna use that. With the double loop system, now you can heat the back and the front of the coach separately, furnace-wise. Whereas before it would loop through the whole coach, now you can do those separately. So that's nice, because most of us like to, I mean, if you're like me, I like my bedroom to be nice and cold, but I want the living room to be warm and cozy, so I can do that now with this new system. Pass-through tray. So you saw this from the other end. Let's pull it out here. You can see how far it extends. Makes everything very easy to get to. Again, I didn't point this out before, but this is all the hoses and kit for your central vac system. An extra air hose here. Probably wondering what these are. Hopefully you never need to use them, but Newmar gives you a backup just in case. These will help you manually bring in your slide if there's ever an issue with your slide rooms. And then Newmar also gives you extra tiles in case you ever have a tile that pops or cracks. Now, one of those things you're not really gonna have to worry about that's because the Dutch Star sits on the Star Foundation. So they get their chassis and then they reinforce it with the Star Foundation to give you more secure, stable. It takes the abuse from the road, not the house. This is our last compartment on the driver's side, well, big compartment, and this is your batteries. So you've got your 8 house batteries here. You've got pins on either side. You just pull those out and then you can easily pull those batteries out for maintenance. As we near the front of the coach, we've got another docking light. Again, those are going to be your best friend. None of us want to go into a campground at night, pull in or out of a campground at night, but it happens. You know, you have something that happens along the route, you get delayed, and you're pulling into a campground at night. Those docking lights are going to be your saving grace. Marker lights, and then the fuel fill for the driver's side of the coach. Again, our beautiful Michelin 315 tires. And then we're gonna go right up front here. Here is the exhaust for your generator. And then this is the power fuse center for the front half of the coach. So if you have a front light that goes out, if you have your power seats not working, the fuse is gonna be right here. Newmar always does a great job to give us these extra fuses, and they're, you know, in the place where they're supposed to be. Otherwise, I'd probably have them in a plastic baggie and I have to go hunt them down in some drawer. So I love that they just have that right there for you. We also have the pull here so that we can extend the generator compartment. So we're just gonna pull that and then we'll go up front. Before we go up front though, one more camera. That's our 4th camera now. That gives us that 360 view. And our last marker light for the driver's side of the coach. So we're just gonna lift the hood here, and we've got the new struts on either side that hold this up. So much better than what they've had in the past where you had the little bar and you had to figure it out. Anyway, I like that, and it's not gonna fall on your head. Then we've got a T-bar right here that we can pull to release the generator compartment here, so we can easily get in there for service. So that's really, really, really nice. Up top, we've got the wussy horns. So when I'm driving something this big and heavy, I want to make sure you hear me coming down the road. So I'm going to make sure my air horns are always on. But if you need to, there's the little wussy horns. Your air horns are right here. Again, there's that T-bar that releases the generator compartment. We've got the hot water line to the generator area. This is something that I love because when I get to the campground, I want to make sure I wash off that beautiful windshield and my front cap. We've got diamond shield on the front cap, which is going to protect this beautiful paint job, but definitely you want to wash it off because there are some critters that will try to eat through that. We've got the windshield wiper fluid reserve here, and then we've got the fuel oil filter. That is for our Oasis hydronic heating system. We've got an air line here that we can hook into. You saw the little air hose that we had, so you can hook that in here. You can inflate, you know, balls and different things that you may need, fun toys. Then we've got our 8,000 watt Awning generator. You can start and stop it from right here. This is where it's going to show you the hours. If you do happen to pop a breaker, you're going to come right here to reset that. Here's your coolant fill and your oil fill, your dash AC compressor, and then below we've got our hydraulic system. That is going to be the hydraulics for your leveling jacks and your full wall slide. That is a hydraulic slide. On the driver's side. On the passenger side, you're going to have an electric slide. So there are 4 different options for exterior colors. This is the Mirage exterior, which I think is gorgeous. 3 other options, and then you can also custom paint your coach. Basically, you stay with the Dutch Star graphics, but you can put any 4 colors in there that you want, and we'll help you do that at National Indoor RV Centers. There is a charge to do that from Newmar, but it's minimal for getting your own custom color. Now, the paint that they use is full paint masterpiece finish with cut and buff, and it gives it sort of a mirroring effect. So, you know, as I'm doing my video here, I can check the hair and make sure it looks nice. So most competitors do not have that nice of a paint job. I have a little story about the paint job, Newmar's paint job. It's so good. I ran into one of my customers in our customer lounge this week. He has a beautiful Newmar coach, keeps it just, you know, perfectly clean, shined and buffed. So much so that he had his coach on his ranch, hooked up to 50 amp service, and they left it for the day, and sheep, goats, rams, I'm not sure exactly what kind of animal, came up to the coach and they saw the reflection in it and they decided to fight the coach. So it's a really sad story, in fact, Don and Ellen, but they had over $20,000 worth of damage on their coach because these animals saw the reflection and thought they were fighting another animal. So show you a little picture, but hopefully that doesn't happen to anyone. Just thought it was one of those things, you can't make this kind of stuff up. And Don and Ellen are back at National Indoor RV Centers, and our paint and body people will make that coach as good as new. So I know they won't be sick to their stomach for long. Another optional feature that makes this coach look so beautiful is the stainless steel package. So we added that to the bottom of the coach, just gives it that high-end look. As I head into the coach, want you to notice the beautiful stainless steel trim on the front of the steps, and right here got our nice screen door here. We're going to go ahead and start to head in. I've got great storage compartments right when I walk into the coach. I love this. So nice and deep there, but this is doubly as deep. So if you want to store like dog food or leashes, Just put muddy shoes in there so you don't track them into the coach. Whatever you need, I love having that option right when you walk into the coach. Then you've got great grab handles as you walk in both sides. And right here, when you come into the coach, you've got your fire extinguisher. So if you need that outside, you can easily get to it, and you can easily get to it inside the coach. Hopefully you never need it. Another thing that will protect you against fire or fire suppression system, you can look into our Protang product that we sell exclusively at National Indoor RV Centers. Check out my video on that. All right, let's go and check out the inside. As I come into the Dutch Star, I mentioned the great handbars. So this one's really nice and sturdy too. So again, going in and out of the coach is going to be no problem. Then right here on the console, when you walk in the door, first thing you see is a red light. That's going to be your battery disconnect. So that's great. Very handy to have right there as you're leaving the coach if you want to hit that off, or as you're coming back into the coach, you want to hit it back on. Super easy. And then we've got our baggage compartment, so we can lock and unlock the basement, garage, whatever you want to call that. You can lock and unlock them from here. And then we've got a courtesy light for the step that I can turn on and off. Again, safety, get me in and out of my coach safely. As I come into the Dutch Star, I want to note the beautiful interior. So this is the Mirage interior. There are 4 choices that you can choose from: Bahama, Wiley, Fulton, Mirage. So the Mirage has kind of a gray tone to it. It's gorgeous. Everything you see decor-wise in here is standard. Again, if you want to work with one of our lifestyle specialists at National Indoor RV Centers, where we can help customize your coach, not only can we customize the options that you put in the coach, but we could change out the flooring if you want, the countertop. We can make subtle little tweaks to your coach that make it even more gorgeous than it already is, because it's pretty beautiful just as it comes standard. Now this is the sable maple wood option, and this is the high gloss option, which I think is really pretty. I like to pair that dark wood with a lighter interior. You also have the glacier glazed maple, the Bermuda, and then the nude wood color, which is the toffee, caramel toffee maple wood option this year as well. So let's go through these cupboards up here. Let me show you what we've got. Storage here with the 2 struts, which make that a really nice sturdy cabinet. And then they've optioned in the overhead TV. So this is our 43-inch Samsung TV. This is nice. Most people put the overhead TV in their coach. It's an option. You can go with or without it. If you don't have the TV, you will have a cabinet here. It's not super deep. It doesn't give you a lot of extra storage. So I think that may be why some of the people, customers, put that TV in, but it's to each their own. It's one of those things that we can customize. And then behind here, we've got lots of information, lots of things to talk about. So we'll start at the very top. We've got a free 110 outlet, as you can see. And then we've got our Winegard Traveler. So this is our HD satellite. You can choose to do that. That's so you have high definition in the campground, and you can choose that for direct or for dish TV. Then we've got our Wi-Fi Ranger here, and that's an option as well. Just below that, we've got the control panel for our inverter. It will let you know that we're in a float charge right now because we're plugged into 50 amp service, and this is where you can turn that inverter on and off. Here's our over-the-air antenna, so we can just turn that on, and then we can ask it to search, and it will just lock on to local stations. And we're inside the building at National Indoor RV Center, so we won't have a lot, but more than you would think. 12 actually. Here is the control module for our Oasis hydronic heating system. So we've got our burner, our diesel burner here, and then our AC heat, which is our alternating current heat 1, and then 1 and 2. So let me give you a little bit more information about how this works. So if you are just one person in the coach and you just want to take one shower, you're going to be fine just to be on your AC 1, your heating element, and that will give you a nice shower. Now, if you've got multiple people traveling with you, 2 or more that want to take a shower, you're going to want to have your diesel burner on. If you're running your furnace, you're going to want to have your diesel burner on. So I have a lot of customers. You know that in Texas this year we had this huge snowstorm and people lost power. A lot of people that left their homes, their sticks and bricks homes, and came and picked up their RV because they had, you know, a furnace in their RV, they had heated floors, power. So anyway, it's kind of funny that they opted to the RV when crisis hit. So it's a backup plan for you. Over here we have our security lights. So for the driver's side security lights, that's midship on the driver's side, midship on the passenger side security light. Our block heater, so I showed you that at the back in the engine compartment. As long as that's plugged in back there, we can turn on the block heater from here. Then we've got our exterior step, so that's our entry step. Once you're at the campground, you don't want that step going in and out every time someone opens a door. It will annoy you, so why do it? You just want to turn that off. Then we have our exterior LED lights below the slides on the passenger side. Here is our slide room control for, this is the off door side slide out. So this is our hydraulic full wall slide in this floor plan, and then our door side slide out. This is our Girard awning control. So again, we can turn the lights on and off from here. We can also go to decide which awning we want to take out. If we want to take them both out, we'll go to 0. Just the first awning, we'll do that. Second awning, in and out. So you can control all that here or from your remote control like I showed you outside. Then there is the entrance door awning, extend and retract. Entrance door awning light, you can turn that awning light on and off here. Our off door side living room awning, so these are our power window awnings that we can extend from here, and those power awnings are really nice. You will get very used to them. And our door side living room awning extend here. Power control system, so this is going to let us know what kind of power we're bringing into the coach. We're hooked into 50 amp service. This will also shed the load. If we try to overtax the system, this will protect it here. Here is the tank monitoring system and our HVAC system. So if we want to look at the tanks, we can turn on the water pump from here. Don't want to turn that on right now. It will also let us know the levels of our house and our chassis batteries. And we can top off our tank here or do our autofill. And we can see our tank levels. So our fresh tank in the 4081 is 105 gallons. Our gray tank is 75 gallons, which they've upped that since, believe they did it last year. And then our black tank is 55 gallons. Go back to our home button here, and we can go to our HVAC system. So you have to turn the power button on here. If this is not lit up red, it's not on and you're not going to be working anything. But we've got our living room that we can control and our bedroom, and we can set the temperature. We can pick which mode, so we can scroll through cool, auto, back to off, and then we can set up here. So if we want to program our AC to run at certain times, we can set that here. This may drive you a little bit crazy, especially if you're moving. If you're going from a hot part of the country to a cool part of the country, you may not want to have that. If you have set up a menu for it to run at certain times, but you don't want it to do it, say it's super hot all of a sudden and you need it to be colder, you can put that system on hold so it doesn't do the preset menu, and you can make it whatever temperature you'd like. Or you can go to eco mode, which will run your ACs more efficiently. I've turned the captain and co-captain's chairs around so you can see how much seating, how big this living room feels when they're turned around. So you've got the 2 seats here that have the footrest on them. We've got the recliners with footrest, and then you've got your sofa here that will make into a bed. So you can easily 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to count people in the booth because that booth is super comfortable. So comfortably fit 8 people. Really, you could get 3 people on that sofa if you wanted to. You could add more, and folding chairs. So 10 people easily in this coach if you want to entertain, sit around, and visit with your guests. It's very comfortable. It's amazing how many people you can get in this small of a space and really feel like you've got plenty of room. So I do love, wanted to mention that the furniture this year for Dutch Star is Villa Comfort. Really nicely made, very comfortable. And we've got the seats are powered, they recline, footrests, great. And I also love that we've got a little spot here where we can put a drink. So that's handy, and this is great for viewing the TV as well. Now over here, we've optioned in the recliners. So I would say that recliners versus theater seating is about 50-50. A lot of people, some people like the recliners, they're a little bit taller. They are manual, and then other people will opt for the theater seating. It's powered. That's a nice option, but you do get this kind of end table in between your recliners. So let me show you how they work. They're not attached to the floor, so you're not going to have seat belts in these, and they are manual. So you've got just a little lever to the side here, and then you can push forward and get to where you're comfortable. You usually just have to pull them a little bit away from the wall so that they don't hit the wall, but they are super comfy, and I think that you will enjoy them. Plus, you've got this end table here, cup holders, and then another big compartment here. Now behind each recliner, you're going to have two 110 outlets and USB charging port on this side, and then just the two 110 on that side. Right behind, we've got the button for our televator. So sitting here looking at the TV, say that I want to see the beautiful outdoors, I can just hit that button once and my TV is going to disappear. We've got the Samsung 50-inch 4K TV with the Bose soundbar, so that's great. And then we've got the controls here for our reading lights, so we can turn those on and off right there. For travel mode, you can push the recliners all the way back to the wall, and that will give you a little bit more of a walkway when your slides are in. I'll show you what that looks like in a little bit. Now, storage-wise, we've got a nice amount of overhead storage. No dividers in there, so you can really get a lot of goods and miscellaneous items in there. Notice the valances on the Dutch Star. It's very clean, just wood. I really like that because it keeps it very classic. The colors are nice and neutral. So if you want to add, if you want to bring in another color, if you want to bring in blue or red or just more off-white and keep it tonal, you can totally make it your own. Now over here to the left, I've got a panel. This is going to be my light switch panel. So as soon as I walk in the coach, if I want to like turn on the running lights for the coach, I'm going to hit the top two buttons here, and then that will get me my running lights. If I want to turn all the lights off in the coach, I'm going to hit the two buttons there. All lights will go off. That's a nice feature because we get lazy. I don't want to go back and check the bathroom, even though it's only 40 feet down the walkway here. I want to just do it right there when I get in. So we've got individual control lights throughout the coach. So our bathroom lights, bedroom, ceiling, our accent lights, our ceiling low lights and highlights, so we can dim those if we'd like, and our accent lights all off, or we can do just the all off button right here. Then we have our floor heat. So one of the things that we optioned into this Dutch Star is floor heat. So it's electric floor heat. They're actually on like 4x4 electric pads below the tile. So it gives you a very consistent floor heat, nice and warm. And then you've got 3 different zones, so you can turn on whatever zone you want. Another thing that's nice about the floor heat with Newmar is that it's also in the slide. So we get the More floor with all tile, no carpet in the Dutch Star. That's a big reason a lot of people go to the Dutch Star, because they don't want carpet anymore. So you get that there. You also get that floor heat in your slide out room. Again, we have a nice little spot here for our drink for the person that's sitting on the sofa or in the co-captain's chair. And we have a little storage cabinet below on both sides. Then just behind what would be the co-captain's chair, we have the 110 outlet, 2 USB charging ports. And then if you go just around the corner, we have another two 110 outlets and 2 USB charging ports. Now let's check out the storage on this side of the coach. So storage, this year in 2022, they've eliminated the Blu-ray DVD player. So not a lot of people are using those anymore. They're streaming more and more. If you want to add a Blu-ray player, it's totally wired and ready to go. So this is still your AV cabinet. You got your HDMI cables, cable input here, satellite input, 3 available 110 outlets in this compartment, your remote control, and it's glass so that it can get those readings through the glass. More storage here. And I mentioned the Bose soundbar earlier, but there it is for your big 50-inch Samsung TV. Now you can comfortably get 8 to 10 guests in here, but you don't want to sleep that many, I promise you. 4 is the max, right? So we've got a bed here if you want to have guests spend the night. It's very easy to make that bed. That just Velcros right off. Then there's a black little tab here. So you're going to lift and then it pulls out. So this is the tri-fold bed, and this is the bed that you're going to get when you do the recliners or when you do the theater seating. You're going to get this. The standard bed is a jackknife, so make sure you know what you're getting if you go with the standard plan here. Now you've got 2 seat belts here, just showing you that those are there for your sofa. And then here's the base for your bed. So comfortably you can get 2 adults on this bed, no problem. Check out the beautiful ceilings of the Dutch Star. Again, they're not overdone, they're very tasteful, and I think they're just pretty. One of the things that I really like about the way Newmar does the ceilings is that you'll see that it's not lined with vents. So your AC units, your intake and your out is right behind these panels here. Very easy to change your filters as well. So all you have to do is just snap those down. Then you just can pull those filters. Woo! It's time for them to be cleaned. So you just take them, wash them out, wring it out, stick it right back on there. And then you can easily just snap those back in. So they're super easy to change. And again, you have this beautiful, nice, soft vinyl touch ceiling with the LED lights, and you're not going to have anything interfering with your airflow when your slides are in. You're not cooling the top of the slides and then having it billow over. It's actually right down the center of your coach while you're traveling. Check out the beautiful kitchen in the Dutch Star. So this is a 4018 kitchen. We're going to get the extra little push out here, which also kind of separates your living room from your kitchen, and I like that. Then you still get the full extension drawers. We've got our little water filter changer. That's really should be out in the wet bay. But check out all that storage space. Look how deep and long those drawers are. Then you just push those back in when you're done with that, and the little button to make that extend, I'm not sure if you saw it, just right there. So easy in and out. Now right around the corner, I wanted to show you as you go into the kitchen, you've got a KIB panel here for your overhead lights, your kitchen lights, your kitchen and living room backlights, and then your water pump, and then your kitchen fan. So you can turn that on here and then set the high, medium, and low. As we go into the kitchen, I want you to check out the beautiful countertop. So love this standard solid surface countertop that you get with the Dutch Star. When you look underneath here, you've got your outlets. So under the cabinets, 2 outlets here, and then you've got 2 outlets here. So you can easily get a coffee pot, put that out there. You can see we've got our nice little hors d'oeuvres that I've made for you. If you want to leave something like this out, get the Sure Stick Flora Life. It's a little tip and trick that I give in my RVing 101 series. But if you want to stick a coffee pot down or something that you want to leave decoration wise or functional wise on your countertops, you can do that and it's not going to go anywhere. I love it. Now as we look at the countertop, we're going to also see our cool cutting boards. Then we've got our nice induction cooktop. Now, induction cooktop, any pan will work that a magnet will attach to. That means that it will work on the induction cooktop. You want to make sure that you don't get too big of a base too. I've had some customers tell me that if it's too big, it doesn't connect as well with the induction cooktop. Now, the cool thing about this is that if you are going to cook salmon or bacon that's really, you know, greasy and you don't want that in your beautiful coach, you can go and cook those outside. So all you have to do is just unplug it and then walk it outside. You've got plugs in your basement compartment that you can put this on a picnic table, use an extension cord, and you've got an outdoor cooktop. So love that you have options with that. We have our Whirlpool convection microwave oven, and you're gonna love working with this. You can bake bread, you can make cookies. It's my specialty. So don't be afraid to use that. You've got the adjustable shelves here, which is really nice. You could put like an air fryer in there if you want to take out that shelf or if you want to move it up. A spice area for spices right above the microwave there. A lot of times I've seen people put the shower spring bar across the top here so that nothing moves while you're traveling or falls out when you open up that cabinet. Big cabinet here with the pull-out tray. This is your little black purse of all your owner's manuals and instructions, and if you just, you know, have lots of time to spare, you can go through each one of those. But National Indoor RV Centers is going to give you a thorough walkthrough when you come to pick up your coach. You're going to spend a day with one of our technicians, and then we like you to stay a couple nights with us actually on property so that you can push all the buttons, figure out how everything works. Really, that's the goal. We want you to be happy when you leave us, say you feel comfortable with your coach, you know how everything works, and you're going to have a great time. Again, another adjustable shelf here. And you can see we have nice lighting underneath the countertop. Then we've got our beautiful sink here. So we've got our sink covers. I love the sink covers because I can hide dirty dishes. So I can hide them on that side of the sink or keep it all here. And then we've got our residential faucets, which are beautiful. Note the beautiful backsplash. And then we've optioned in the kitchen window. So I don't have it open right now, but it's really nice because it brings the outside in. If you don't want the kitchen window, you don't have to have it. You'll get more of the pretty backsplash that Newmar adds. Nice big storage drawer here. So you've got remote controls. Obviously, you can, you know, put your silverware in there. And again, our technicians at National Indoor RV Centers will tell you how all those work. Now, this is one that I do want to show you though. We've optioned this coach with the electronic day and night shades. So I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's light, but it basically has a zone for each shade in the coach. So for the day shade and the night shade, or you can go all up or all down, but you can do that just by the push of a button, and you can scroll through the different locations and shades and then just take them up or down. So that's all remote. It's really nice. You know, we get pretty spoiled here in our Dutch Star. We've optioned in for the dishwasher. You can see that's nice and big, has the little utensil holder, and then you can set up the different areas for your plates. So if you don't use the dishwasher, I've seen people use it just for storage. They can, lot of options there. Then we've got the little flip down drawer, spot for our garbage can, and then nice pull out tray so we can get to everything in the back. We also have a spot for our sink covers. So when we're not using them, they are out of the way. And then probably one of my favorite features is the dustpan. So if you don't feel like getting out the hose for your central vac, all you have to do is just kind of sweep everything towards that dustpan, flip that up, and it's going to take it all away. Otherwise, you can get out the hose and you can connect that here for your central vac, easily get to the front and the rear of the coach from here. Heading over to the dinette area. Now this is again one of those 50-50 options. So You can do the standard dinette, which I am not showing here. This is the booth dinette, Euro booth dinette. You get 2 extra leaves for your table and 2 extra folding chairs. So between the Euro booth dinette and the combination desk dinette, those are probably my 2 most popular dinette options. So the combo desk dinette will give you that buffet area in the back with the table that extends, 2 chairs, and it gives you a little bit more office space or more cabinet space below that buffet. So those are the 2 options. We went with the booth here. I do love the booth because it is nice and roomy. Like, there's plenty of room here, and I like it because you can use it as a lounge too. Like, it's really nice to sit here and, you know, talk to who's ever preparing dinner for me. Plus you have storage underneath, so you just have to push your hand back there and pull the lever, and you're gonna have storage under both cushions. Speaking of storage, you have great storage above the dinette. So 3 more compartments here. And you'll notice the LED lighting, they don't get in the way of you opening the cabinets. And then we've got another KIB switch here, which you can turn on your dinette lights, your overhead lights, accent, ceiling, wall, ceiling, low lights and highlights, so you can, you know, dim those. And then you've got your 2 110 outlets and 2 USB charging ports. Now back to the dinette. So we can easily extend the dinette here, put in our 2 leaves, and I think my favorite part here, we've got our little decoration in the way, but we've got the leg, the support leg that just magnets up there. So you've got a nice sturdy table once you put those leaves in. So you can see that you could easily get 6 people to the Euro booth dinette. The Dutch Star comes with the Whirlpool refrigerator. You've got water in the door here. Nice big residential refrigerator. And freezer with the ice maker here in the freezer, and then the deep drawers. Now you're probably wondering what this is right here. So that's going to be our lock. You definitely want to make sure you don't forget that. If you'd like a copy of my pre-trip checklist, just email me at Angie@NIRVC.com. Love to send that to you, just so you don't forget little things like that, which make a huge difference, because the last thing you want are your doors flying open and everything falling down on your beautiful tile floor, making a big old mess. Nice big pantry with adjustable shelves, and these are locking shelves, so you just push them in and then pull out. Full extension. We've got the LED lighting in there, which is really nice, so you can see everything in your pantry, so you don't forget what you've got, which is really nice. This is the first thermistor for the Dutch Star. So the thermistor is what communicates with the thermostat, so you can keep the inside of your coach nice and comfortable. So one for the front part of the coach, and I'll point out the one in the back part of the coach. Now we're going to go into our half bath. So the 4081 has a bath and a half. It's on the pivot door so that you can easily get into the bathroom when your slides are in, when you're in travel mode. Now once inside, you're going to see that you've got this big counter space here, solid surface with the vessel sink to give you a little bit more counter space to work with here. We've got our 110 outlet that's right underneath the cabinet, so you can plug in your curling irons. Great mirrors and storage behind in the medicine cabinet. And then we've got our power control system here. So we've got our breakers for the coach, fuses, and like Newmar always does, we've got the extra fuses right there, and then we know exactly what those fuses go to. We've got our little cheat sheet here on the door. We have more storage below. Great place to store toilet paper. So if you're able to get to it, they're going to give you it. Then you've got your switch controls here. So you have your fan. We've got our over the head fan here, so we can turn that on. We can do the rain sensor override if we want, and then we can set it high, medium, low. We have our ceiling lights, our accent lights, our vanity, water pump, and we can turn on our floor heat here as well. Now we've got the toilet, and then just over the toilet we have a window, and this window actually opens. A lot of people ask for opening windows. Well, you've got one right here. I'm going to shut the beautiful reeded glass doors as I come into the master bedroom of the 4081. So love this master bedroom. First of all, look how beautiful it is. Beautiful headboard, beautiful bed and bedding, and we've optioned in the sleep number bed. Comes standard with a pillow top mattress, but you also have storage below. So we've got our extra folding chairs in there and our leaves, lots of room for more items. Then we've got our speakers here. So your speakers, they control those speakers right here. And then we've got our thermistor for the bedroom area here. So again, that's going to help us keep this nice and climate controlled to how we like it. Nightstands on both sides of the bed. And then when you open this cabinet, right inside, you've got your 2 110 outlets and 2 USB charging ports. And there's a hole here underneath the solid surface countertop, so you can thread those cords through if you need to. And then keep the door shut, so that's nice. Keeps everything nice and tidy. Storage above, and you've got a access hole there if you want to plug something in. Up here, because you have a 110 outlet, and then thread that cord down through here, you can easily do that. Underneath the cabinets, we've got switches here for our reading lights on both sides, so we can turn those on. Our ceiling lights, accent lights, our bedroom like dimming lights, and then we can turn all lights off. So that's new. I love the all lights off feature here in the bedroom. We've got it at the front door and in the bedroom. That's great. And then we've got our lights here for our driver's side and passenger side security lights that are on the outside of the coach. So say you hear a noise, you're concerned, go ahead and flip that light on and probably scare off whatever is outside your coach. We have a great wardrobe set up in the 4081. So you're going to get 2 wardrobes on either side of your TV with a hanging bar here, and then you've got 6 drawers below. Big 43-inch TV. But this is one of the most popular setups for the bedroom, just because you get so much wardrobe space plus drawers. This is kind of your AV cabinet. Again, you're going to have your HDMI cords, your cable input, and you could put a Blu-ray DVD player down there. And we've got our window, which is just above behind the buffet here. And I love that they give us that solid surface countertop. We can decorate it, looks nice. And right underneath the cabinet here, we've got the control for your power window awning in your bedroom externally. So that's where you find it. It's kind of tricky to find. So we have our slide room control here. So this is going to bring in the slide for your bedroom slide. You've got your full wall slide over here. I'll bring in this slide. And then we've got our KFA switch for our floor heat and then our lighting. So we've got our ceiling, our dresser lights, ceiling lights, low lights, accent lights, courtesy lights. Just before I step into the master bathroom, I just want to point out that you have another pocket door that you just push down to access that door. When I shut this door fully, I'm going to have a full-length mirror from the bathroom. So that's nice. You can check out your outfit. Then you're just going to step up into the bathroom here. We have a nice big shower. We've got our lock for the shower. That's super important. And towel holders. You can never have enough of those. So I'm going to step into the shower. This is a 40 by 30 inch shower. Now I've got the fold down seat down, but you can push that up so that's totally out of your way. It gives you more space. It has the waterfall shower head, plus you have the handheld device, which I really like. This also comes standard with the AquaView shower miser. So right here, you're going to turn this little dial. You're going to let the water recirculate. So you're not going to waste water in your gray tank. You're not going to waste your freshwater tank, because you're going to let that water warm up before it comes out of the faucet. So once this lights up to light blue, then your water's warm. Go ahead, turn your little lever here. Water's going to come out nice and warm. Washer and dryer. Splendid in your bathroom. And then we've got more storage And we've got a big box in here, but that's actually full-length storage there. And we've got a light and a safe in the back of this cabinet. More KIB switches. So we've got it for our fantastic fan, ceiling lights, cosmetic lights, water pump, bathroom backlighting, and ceiling low lights and highlights. We've got our AquaView shower miser light. I've never seen that go on and off there, so you can see it go on into the shower. And then we've got another control for our heated floors. So again, this is unusual. Not every master bathroom, because you've got your engine compartment, has heated floors, but we have heated floors in our Newmar. Beautiful solid surface countertop with integrated sink in the master bath. So one of the things I love, love, love in this bathroom is the big medicine cabinet. So you open that up and look at all that space, nice and deep, 2 110 outlets. Love the lighting that we have in the bathroom. We also get the cathedral ceiling. So that gives us extra headroom here, makes it feel bigger. Beautiful lights underneath. And we also have another 110 outlet here, residential faucets, and then let's check out the storage. Full extension drawers. Nice deep storage space here. And then 3 more big drawers, and I don't think I opened these for you, and I like to open every drawer. I know that might drive some of you crazy, but for those of you that are really shopping, I know you want to see how much space you're really going to get in this coach. All right, 2 more cabinets here. Nice deep cabinets, so like a little linen cabinet. I love that. Beautiful backsplash. We've got our commode, and we even have storage here to the side. We can get some toilet paper rolls in there. And now, since I'm sitting, I'm going to demonstrate the emergency egress door. So I talked about this on the outside. Super easy to use. You're going to go ahead and just unlock the door and open it up. Remove the panel here. You're out in seconds, literally seconds. Not minutes, seconds. Wanted to note that this is an opening window. One more thing I forgot to point out earlier is another towel hook. I know y'all probably think I'm crazy, but I hate towels on the floor or on the bed. So I like to have a place to hang them, either over the shower, on the towel rack there, or a hook. I always like to show the coach with the slides in. First of all, you can see that you can easily get to your food. Always important, right? So fully get into your pantry and your refrigerator. You can get to the ice cream. Bluebell, here we come. And you can get into your half bath very easily. You can also sleep on your master bed with the slides in if you needed to. You just would have to kind of roll over your bed to get to the full bath. And then you can easily get through the kitchen area. Lots of room here. I could be doing prep work in the kitchen, and with these recliners and the sofa, nice walkway all the way to the front. All right, so we're finally to the cockpit. Lots of things to go over here, but first of all, let's talk about these chairs. They are so comfortable, and that really is a big deal. That's one of the reasons we want you to come and test drive a coach, because we want you to be comfortable when you're spending 6 to 8 hours in this chair if you decide to drive that long. Now, one of the things I really like is that the controls, as much as it seems like every time I get everything set just perfect before I get ready to hit the road, I always have a little bit of adjustments that I have to make once I'm driving, and I can easily reach down and push that down, up, forward, and back. This control here will move the backrest forward and back. Now there's a control that's just like this on the left side of the chair that's going to be impossible for you to see, but when I lift it, that's what makes it able for the chair to rotate around into the living room. And then I've got the footrest that you can use when you're turned around, and the lumbar support. And then we've optioned this Dutch Star with the heated seats. Over to my left side, we have our hydraulic leveling system. So we're in travel mode right now. I'm going to go ahead and I just want to auto level. So you can hear the air coming out of the system. Once I have dots in all 4 corners, I'll know that I am level. So if you happen to be in a campground and you get the message excessive slope, then what you need to do is maybe move the RV around, try again. If you get that message again, excessive slope, it can't level, then you're going to want to give your pump a little bit of a rest. I'd say 20 to 30 minutes, because you don't want to burn up that pump trying over and over again. Or you may want to change campgrounds if it's going to be that hard to level. So now we are level. We've got all 4 corners with a red dot. We're good to go. Once we're done camping and we're ready to leave, we just do auto store so that we will go back to travel mode. Here we have the control for our exterior mirrors, so left and right, and then our defrost button. We have the tag dump, and I always just keep this in auto. Typically you won't ever use that unless you need a little extra traction because you're in mud or on ice or something like that, then you may dump your tag. Auto traction control, again, I always just keep that on. And then we have our power window button. So I want to show you that the Dutch Star comes standard with a power window. Another big deal because it makes it so easy to talk to whoever is directing you into the parking space or your neighbor or the toll booth. I love the power window. 2 cup holders. Then just down below here, I've got 2 USB charging ports and a little spot for miscellaneous items. Just above the cup holder, we have the USB on auxiliary inputs. Our battery boost button. Battery boost button is very important. So here we're in Texas. If you've ever been to Canton Days, First Mondays, it's really fun. But say you take your RV out there, you're spending the weekend, you come back to a dead coach. Well, that button is going to be your best friend, because what you want to do is take your house batteries and your chassis batteries and tie them together. So you'll push that button to tie them together. Hopefully you'll get enough power that you can then start your generator and then start your coach. This is your dome light that's straight above the driver. This is your parking brake, obviously pull to apply and push to release. Then we've got our lights. So we've got our parking lights, headlights, and then our fog lights. Cell phone charging station, I love that because it's really easy to get. I can charge my phone while I'm going down the road. Everyone wants to know how they can adjust the steering column. So this is the pedal. So you just press this, you can pull it towards you, and you can telescope it till it's just perfect for you. Right next to that pedal, you'll see there's a green little cap there. That is your Deutsch plug, where one of our technicians at National Indoor RV Centers can plug into your coach for diagnostic purposes. So now to the fun stuff. So we're on a Freightliner chassis. That means that we get the drive technology. So everything's going to be at our fingertips. Freightliner has all of Daimler behind them, so they have a lot of money for research and development, and you're going to see that here in the steering column. Very automotive experience. So I'm going to start over here on the left hand side. I'm going to go to the home button, and I can scroll through trip information, gauges, fuel economy, tire pressure. Did I mention that you get tire pressure monitoring system standard on the Dutch Star? That's cool. Road watch comes with Freightliner chassis. Vehicle configuration. So in each of these modes, I can go through and show you a little bit more detail. So let's go ahead to our gauges. I can decide which gauges I want to throw up on my screen here. And if I want to change them, I'll just press OK, and then I can flip through other options. Our fuel economy, tire pressure. So I'm going to see that I've got some low tire pressure. That's important for me to know, and something I definitely want to check before I head out on my trip. Road watch is my cruise control, and here I can pick my following distance. So if I want it to be further away, kind of in between, or a short following distance, and then I just hit select to choose. and go back. Vehicle configuration, this one's very important. So we're going to go here. We can adjust the brightness of the dash here. Connect my Bluetooth so I can make phone calls here from my steering column. And then steering effort. This is where I'm going to find my comfort drive. So while I'm going down the road, if I want to do this, I can easily adjust that to a higher level or lower level. I like it nice and low if I'm in the parking lot. When I'm going down the road, I tend to keep it up towards the top there. And then I just press OK to set it and go back. Diagnostics. So you can look at your faults, internal diagnostic, transmission prognostics, and system information. A lot of information, and you can basically customize the information that you see on your screen. This will just throw up a quick gauges, and like I said, you can customize what you want to see quickly right there. So throw that up, and then you've got your plus and your minus. This is the volume control for your radio. Then we're going to have our horn here in the center. We've got our air horns on, just like I like it. Over here, we can take a phone call, hang up on a phone call, and then this is where I set my cruise control. So a little secret here. If you get into your coach and you want to air it up quickly, you can turn on the cruise control and hit the set or the resume sign, and you're going to see those RPMs raise, and you're going to air up your coach quicker. I'm always in a hurry, so I want it to air up fast. So once you've got your cruise control set, you set it here, resume, you can increase it or decrease it. This is really nice too. This is so you can flash your lights to let truckers know that they can, once they've passed you, that they can comfortably pull in front of you, or if they've let you know that you can pull in front of them, you can just hit those 3 times to say thank you. So on this paddle, we've got our turn signals, and when we do those, it's going to give us the view down the full side of our coach. We also have our windshield wiper fluid. Just press that in for the windshield wiper fluid, and then I can set how I want those windshield wipers, how often I want, what the speed of the windshield wipers. So if I want to just flash my headlights, again, to let a trucker know that it's safe to pull in front of me after he's passed me, I could just do that. If I want to turn on my headlights and keep them on, I push the paddle away from me. Now this is what you're really going to love. This comes with the Freightliner chassis. You've got everything at your fingertips, like I said. So now our transmission controls are right here on this paddle. So I easily go to drive, neutral, or reverse. And you'll get used to this, I promise, very quickly. The other cool thing is that your engine brake is right here. So if I'm not sure if I have it on, I can throw it down. And you've got the low, medium, and high settings. So it's really easy to do. And again, such a great safety feature because I can throw that on at any time very easily without having to look around. Now, if I want to manually shift, I can do that here. So I would just pull it forward to shift. If I want to go back to automatic mode, I just push this in here. With the Dutch Star, you get these beautiful 9-inch Excite screens. So I love these because they're easy to see. I can actually use the camera going down the road because it's visible. I can get to all this. It's really nice. So I'm just going to jump through the menu here. Menu, radio, media center, XM radio, Bluetooth, my HDMI connection here, auxiliary connection, camera control, nav system. Now you remember the nav is new this year for 2022. It's Nav and Go, not Rand McNally. And then setup. This is where I can customize this screen, brightness, volume control, etc. But let's say I just want to jump right to my nav system. I can go here. And it comes up nice and easy. Put in my address where I'm going. Easy to use and so visible. I love that. Back to my menu here. I can go to the camera setting. So now I can pick which view. Do I want to have the driver's side of the coach? Do I need to see that down that side? The passenger side of the coach? The rear of the coach? Or do I want that 360 view, which is what I like? And then you can see we're in a building here, so it's hard to see what you're looking at right now because it's a little bit dark. But here's my 360 view, and I'll show you that as I'm driving down the road. This is the driver's side visor or sun day visor. This is the front day visor. This is the front shade. Here are my docking lights. Again, super important that I have those on when I'm coming into a campground at night. Overhead fans, so that's going to help me defrost this beautiful windshield if I need to, if I'm out in the cold, and I can set it on high, medium, or low. This is a front fan for the furnace and a high and a low button. I can start the generator from here. This is great when you're driving down the road and you've got hot passengers in the back and you want to turn on your AC. You're going to hit that on. I can lock the front entry door. My air horn, on and off here. Courtesy lights, on and off here. Visor for the passenger, and my 360 camera. Pop it up and it will change the views as I scroll through the camera. Our ignition, 12-volt outlet, AC and heat controls here, and then we've got these nice little drawers for miscellaneous items, and they're nice and solid, not rickety, and they close nice and tight. Here in the co-captain's seat, I am just as comfortable as the captain's seat, which is really nice. You can adjust those armrests. Now, people are wondering how you do that. There's a little slit inside the armrest here, so you just push your finger in there, pull that up, and then you can easily adjust that up or down so that it's comfortable for you. You're going to have the same controls on the co-captain's chair as you have the captain's chair, plus you're going to have the footrest, my favorite control. So you can get nice and comfy when you're ready to hit the road. Now, before you do that, you probably want to put out the step cover so that as you're traveling, you don't accidentally fall in the stairwell there. That would not be fun. And that is a nice, strong, you're not even going to notice when you stand on that. It's so nice and strong. We've got the ceiling light here, step cover, the visor, that's my visor here, and then my map light. I can turn that on or off. Cup holder, cell phone wireless charging station, and then if my phone doesn't work on that, I've got my 2 USB outlets, plus I've got my 2 110 and USB outlets right behind me. Now, another little fancy dancy feature we've got here on the Newmar is our little desk. So if I want to work on my iPad or crossword as we're going down the road, I've got a little table here to do that. And then when I'm done, it just folds nicely away. Another feature that I like that Newmar gives you an option is, you know, the screen door is great to have when you're camping. You don't want to let the bugs in, but when you're going down the road, I really don't want to look at everything through the screen window here. So you can just unsnap it and then it easily slides up, and now there's nothing obstructing my view. I love that. All right, so it's time for the test drive. I think this is super important. At National Indoor RV Centers, we want you to come and test drive. We will encourage it because when you're spending this much money, we want you to know what you're getting in the product. We want you to know how it drives and how it feels and it performs. So feel free to come by any of our locations and set an appointment for a test drive. Best to have an appointment just so you can have that extra time with the RV lifestyle specialist. So I know a lot of people are nervous to drive Class A diesels, and you don't need to be. You just basically need to take your time, and you have to realize that your turning point is at the center of your front axle. So I'm not going to start my turn until the center of my front axle is at the turning point. So you have to kind of put your nose out there a little bit further than you're comfortable initially, but you'll get used to it. Then we have amazing mirrors. So in my mirrors, I can watch my back tires. Whichever way I'm turning, I'll be watching that back tire to make sure that I'm not going to clip the curb. If I am, I'm just going to slow down or stop, adjust, and miss the curb. It's as easy as that. So when I turn on my blinker, I'm going to see down the full length, the side of the right side of my coach. And now I'm going to be watching in my other mirror, see that I'm totally safe. And then something you'll hear me say in every video, because I heard it like 10,000 times if I heard it once when I was learning how to drive a Class A diesel, is that you want to hug the left side of the lane that you're driving in. Don't stay in the left lane. People get mad at you because they can't pass you. Sometimes you will be in the left lane, but you want to hug the left side of whatever lane you're driving in, because everything bad happens on the right. You've got street signs, road debris, tree limbs. Tree limbs can be so expensive to your beautiful coach. You know, you think that you're going to pass by that tree limb and it just will take and make a scratch down the whole entire length of your coach if you're not careful. So that's something you definitely want to think about when you're driving. When you're driving a Class A diesel, there is more to think about, but it also makes it fun. You know, when you pull into gas stations, you're looking for signs and anyway, you're always watching stuff. Now, the nice thing about it, new for 2022, we have the new Nav and Go navigation system. So it's going to have over-the-air updates, which I love, because that will just make it easier and simpler for me. With the Dutch Star, you have a lot of things that come standard. So you have electronic stability control, you have auto traction control, front independent front suspension, comfort drive. Comfort drive is probably one of my favorite things. It's a game changer. I promise. A lot of my customers that have come from something that didn't have comfort drive and then come to coach with comfort drive, they say it's night and day difference. So it's a computer-aided driving assist, basically. So if I'm driving along, I've got a 40-mile-per-hour wind pushing against the side of the coach, it's going to feel that and then detect it and then adjust for me. So merely all I'm doing as a driver is just keeping myself in the lane, keeping myself straight ahead, watching out for, traffic around me. But basically, I'm not fighting the steering column. I'm not going to be sore or tense in my shoulders because it's so easy to drive. They literally make these coaches easier to drive than my car. I have the 360 camera. I've got these great mirrors, 9-inch, Excite video screens right here that I can watch. So they're a dream to drive, and you're going to love it. Once I get on the freeway, I'll go ahead and kind of demonstrate. I'll go to my comfort drive and see that it's easy to change that setting while you're driving if you have to. Typically, I set it before I start driving, though. Another optional feature that you can add to the Dutch Star is the collision mitigation system. So a lot of you will have that in your cars because that's a pretty standard feature anymore. Collision mitigation with adaptive cruise control. So I really enjoy that feature just because I can set my cruise control. Once I've set the cruise control, I'm really just enjoying the sights. If someone gets in front of me that's going slower, the coach will automatically slow down. Once they speed up, it will speed up back to the cruise setting that I had it on. So it just makes it really effortless. You don't have to think so much when you're driving. Now, the only time it's got me in trouble, so also I look down and I'm like, going 40 miles per hour. Why am I going so slow? Because the car in front of me is going slow. So occasionally you might have to change lanes, but it's no big deal. I mentioned while I was outside that this Dutch Star sits on the Freightliner chassis with that V-Ride suspension. So it gives me great stability. Really, I don't feel that sway at all as I come up over this bridge and I'm going to be turning. I'm not going to feel the coach tilt or sway in the least bit. So it's very secure feeling when you're driving. Plus, when a diesel truck comes, flying by you, you're not going to feel that push either because you've got this strong chassis that's going to keep you in your lane, keep you in place, and you're just not going to think twice about it, other than it feels kind of weird when something as big as you is going by you. So I'm on the freeway now, just about ready to enter here. I'm just going to be watching my cameras, make sure that I'm safe to get over into my lane. Looks like I've got someone coming besides me here. Okay. So comfortably in my lane, I'm going to go ahead and turn on my cruise control. It's right here on the steering column, so everything's at my fingertips. Turn that on here, and I'm going to set it at 60, and now I can take my foot off the accelerator, basically just have my foot near the brake in case I need a brake, and it's just as easy as that. Now the coach is going to adjust to the following distance of the cars in front of me, and I'm good to go. Now I can just enjoy it. Also, I want to know how quiet this coach is. So I've got the dash AC on, I've got the generator on. Yep, generator's running right now. And I've got the AC units in the back of the coach running. So it's going to be over 100 degrees today in Texas. Any passengers that would be traveling with me would get really hot in the back of the coach. So I need to keep the generator running, those ACs on. Plus I've got my ACs on, and it's perfectly quiet. I can have a conversation, not yelling, with my co-pilot. One of the things that you'll really love about the diesel pusher is that your engine's in the back, so it's nice and quiet up front. I mentioned how quiet and easy it is to drive this Dutch Star. Decibel reader is 67.2. So quiet. Really, come test drive, test it out for yourself. See if I'm telling you the truth. Another thing I want to tell you while we're driving here is you've got to come to one of our AIM rallies. So AIM is our all-inclusive motorhome club, and we do fantastic rallies. I just got back from one in Granby, Colorado, and it was so much fun. We're not sitting around, we're busy. It's sort of like going on a cruise in your RV. We're going to cover all your food and drink, and entertainment is included. So we went horseback riding, whitewater rafting, did side-by-sides. We had a great time, and I'm telling you, then at night we came back to the beautiful RV resort that we were staying at, and we had entertainment, live entertainment. Great food, fun. You get to meet new people, and that's what I think is probably most valuable, especially if you're new to RVing. You need to come to one AIM rally, and you're going to have friends that you'll want to meet at different locations across the country. It's just a great way to really start enjoying this lifestyle. So let's talk about Comfort Drive. It's right here on the dash. I can go to it from my home button, and I can scroll to vehicle configuration, and then I hit that little button, and then I have steering effort. Hit that button, and now I can have more help or less help. So typically I like the steering wheel to feel kind of stiff, firm, and I feel like it's helping me more. So I usually have it a little higher setting when I'm going down the freeway. Then if I get into a parking lot, you can literally turn this coach with your pinky finger if you want to take it all the way down to 1. So it makes it super easy to maneuver this big coach. So I talk about all the safety features that come standard with this coach. Well, one of the things that's optional, but I typically put it on as a standard item, is the 360 camera. So I talked about it as we walked around the coach. Now I want to show you what that looks like when you're driving down the street. So I can see exactly where I am in my lane. I can see what's around me. You'll see here that I'm going to go under an overpass here. So you can see that I'm safely in my lane. You can really monitor my driving skills. And then as I start to get on the freeway here, I'm able to see what's all around me too. Now, once I turn on my blinker, it's going to go to that side view, and I lose my 360 view. But once I'm safely in my lane, then I'm going to go back, and I'm going to go right back to that 360 setting because I like it. I like to see where I am. I like to see if I'm hugging that left lane, and I like to see what's around me. So what are you waiting for? Come out to National Indoor RV Centers. Right now we have 5 locations. So we're in Las Vegas, Surprise, Arizona, suburb of Phoenix, Lewisville, Texas, which is a suburb of Dallas. Very easy to fly into DFW. In 15 minutes, you're at our dealership. We're in Lawrenceville, Georgia, which is a suburb of Atlanta. And we're right now in our temporary location in Nashville, which is Laverne, Tennessee. And we'll be building our permanent location that's going to have the over 300 spots for storage, wash and detail, paint and body, service, everything will be in Lebanon, Tennessee. And before the end of the year, we'll be announcing a new location. So stay tuned because a lot of you are going to be really excited. This is a location that people have been asking for a long time. I think it's underserved, and it will be a game changer when National Indoor RV Centers comes there because, again, we do it all. You've heard me say it, right? Thank you so much for joining me today on the tour of the 2022 Newmar Dutch Star 4081. I hope you've enjoyed seeing the differences between the 4081 versus the 4369, two of their most popular floor plans. So I'm sure you're wondering what it would cost you to get into this gorgeous coach. So MSRP is $528,200. $205. If you want to know what we can sell you this coach for at National Indoor RV Centers, please give us a call. 469-277-1330. You can also go to our website, NIRVC.com, and see all the coaches that we have available. Now remember this, with our volume and economies of scale, RVs simply cost less with National Indoor RV Centers. At National Indoor RV Centers, we are different than every other dealer, I promise. We want customers for life, and we mean that when we say that. That is truly our goal, is that you're happy and enjoy this lifestyle. So from start to finish, you should have a great experience. We want to make it super easy. We take in trades, we do consignments. We'll outright buy your coach if you want us to. We also do financing. Most people will finance this beautiful RV for 20 years. Gives them a nice lower payment, and so they can enjoy the road and the RVing lifestyle. So please make sure you give us a call. If you've enjoyed this video and would like to see more like it, please hit the like and subscribe. Also check out my RVing 101 series. If you ever happen to have a boo-boo on your coach like my good friends Dawn and Ellen, make sure you check out my paint and body video. We should be your first call. And if you just want to have some fun, make sure you come and party with us at one of our AIM rallies. Thanks so much for watching today, and have a wonderful day.